They said it was impossible. They said the front office had lost its touch. But while every other team was lighting their salary cap on fire for mid-tier players this offseason, the Philadelphia Eagles just pulled off the absolute heist of the century. We are talking about a move so cold-blooded, so strategically brilliant, that it makes every other GM in the league look like they're playing checkers while the Eagles are playing four-dimensional chess. Before we dive into how this move changes the entire landscape of the NFC, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest, most unfiltered NFL updates on the planet. Listen, I am not exaggerating. What just happened in Philly
really dictates the defense.
Building. A Pro Bowl, Super Bowl winning caliber cornerback just walked through the doors of the NovaCare complex, and he's going to cost the team less than what some bench-warming practice squad players are making. You read that right. In a year where contracts are exploding, the Eagles managed to secure a defensive anchor for a price that shouldn't even be legal. But here is the kicker. He is not just a name on a jersey. Early reports from spring workouts are bordering on insane. While everyone else is just getting their feet wet, this guy has been absolutely suffocating receivers. The beat reporters covering the team can't stop talking about him. They're saying he looks like a man possessed, a total lockdown machine who is already turning heads and making the offense look completely helpless. We are looking at the foundation of what could be the greatest secondary trio in the history of this franchise. But how do we get here? And why was this player available for such a bargain? We need to peel back the curtain, because the story of how this deal went down is even crazier than the stats themselves. First, let's go back to his roots. This guy entered the league as a fifth-round draft pick. He wasn't the guy with a massive scouting profile or the blue-chip pedigree. He came from a smaller school, a place where you have to fight for every single rep just to get noticed. And in his very first year, he didn't just get noticed, he terrorized the league. He burst onto the scene by leading the entire NFL in interceptions. We're talking about elite, ball-hawking instinct that you just cannot teach. He was putting up numbers that we hadn't seen from a rookie in years. By the time the season wrapped up, he was a Pro Bowler, finishing right behind the absolute titans of the position in the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting. Who is this player? I'm talking about Tariq Woolen. Yes, the same guy who has been a headache for opposing offenses since day one. And now, he's an Eagle. But wait until you hear the real reason why he was available, and why the coaches in Philadelphia are already calling this the smartest move they've made in years. See, his career hasn't been a straight line. There have been ups and downs that would break a lesser player. He dealt with team rule violations. He dealt with losing his starting spot, and he dealt with coaching rotations that would make any elite player lose their focus. Last season, the situation he was in became a revolving door of defensive uncertainty. He was sharing snaps, moving in and out of the lineup, and for any corner, that is a recipe for disaster. But look at the data. Don't listen to the noise. Look at the cold, hard facts. Over the last 4 years, despite all the chaos, despite the team turmoil, Tariq Woolen has been one of the top 3 cornerbacks in the entire NFL when it comes to completion percentage allowed. When quarterbacks dare to throw his way, they aren't finding success. He is in the same conversation as the absolute best shutdown corners in the game. That's not a coincidence. That is pure, raw, elite talent. Now, let's talk about the money, because this is where it gets legendary. Howie Roseman strikes again. He structured this contract with void years that make the cap hit look like a typo. We're talking about roughly $3 million against the cap. That is an absolute steal for a player of his pedigree. It's the kind of move that wins Super Bowls because it allows you to keep your core together while adding elite pieces on a discount. Who is to blame for the other teams letting this happen? Why didn't they see the value? Drop a name in the comments below. Is your favorite team's GM asleep at the wheel? Or did Philly just outsmart the entire league? But it's not just the money. It's the familiarity. The Eagles coaching staff already has the blueprints for how to maximize this guy. The defensive staff in Philly has people who worked with him during his absolute best years. They don't need a learning curve. They know exactly how he ticks, how to coach him, and how to fix the minor inconsistencies that crept into his game last year. And the best part, the defensive mastermind himself, Vic Fangio, has been chasing this guy for a long time. He wanted him last year, and now that he finally got his hands on him, The word around the building is that Fangio is still in shock that they were able to pull this off. He knows exactly what kind of weapon he has in his holster for this season. But hold on, this isn't just about Woolen. This is about the bigger picture. When you put him next to Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, you're looking at a secondary that is going to be a nightmare for every quarterback in the league. Think about the versatility. You have Mitchell, who is already playing at an all-pro level, a guy who doesn't just cover his man, he erases him from the game plan. Then you have DeJean, the ultimate chess piece, the Swiss Army knife who can play the slot, drop in a safety, or blitz off the edge. And now you add Woolen as the anchor on the other side. It's not fair. This trio has the potential to be a historically great group. They are fast, they are physical, and they are incredibly smart. But I have to be real with you. There's one thing that could derail this. Consistency. We know the history. We know that at times, the intensity can boil over into penalties. But that is exactly why he is in Philadelphia. This isn't a team that lets players run wild. This is a disciplined, accountability-heavy environment. Vic Fangio is the king of taking raw, aggressive talent and molding it into a refined, efficient machine. If anyone can keep Woolen focused and playing at his peak without the unnecessary flags, it is this coaching staff. Just imagine the visual for week 1. Opposing quarterbacks are going to look out at this defense and realize there is nowhere to throw the ball. You have the lockdown outside threat, the ball-hawking veteran, and the versatile genius in the middle. It is a complete transformation of the defensive identity. What this means for the regular season is simple: dominance. When you can shut down the passing game without having to commit extra defenders, you can send pressure from everywhere. You can blitz, you can drop 8, you can do whatever you want because your corners are winning their individual battles. This is what a championship secondary looks like. It is about depth, it is about versatility, and it is about having the intelligence to disguise your coverage until the very last second. So, let's look at the big question. Does this move make the Eagles the team to beat in the NFC? Or is there still a lingering question at the safety spot that could keep them from holding that Lombardi trophy again? I want to hear from you. Do you think this cornerback trio is enough to carry the defense? Or do we still need another piece to truly reach that elite, legendary status? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a beat on this developing story. We're going to be tracking every move this defense makes all the way to the postseason. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.